Inversion or complex sentences. This is a grammar point that it only appears in advanced and proficiency. So let's take a look on first, what is it? Why do we use it? We use these sentences for emphasis. What we are looking for is emphasizing an idea. We use this in writing, we use this in speaking. We use this in formal language and informal language because what we are looking for is changing the tone of our sentence. So how do we do it? How does it look like? We are going to change the order of the sentence to a question type. That's why I call it inversion. We're inverting the sentence. It's going to look like this. An adverb comes to the beginning. We have an auxiliary verb, a subject, and a verb, just like a question. So something like, hardly had I started speaking when he interrupted me. So what I'm calling the attention here is to the moment I started speaking, he interrupted me. Hardly had I started speaking when he interrupted me. The original sentence would be this. I had hardly started speaking when he interrupted me. Here, I'm just telling you the order of events. I'm not emphasizing that moment of hardly had I started speaking. So can you feel the emphasis on that one? It takes some time to feel the emphasis. That's why we need to see a lot of sentences to see how it works and see them in context to feel this emphasis. So this is the basic order, but we do have some differences regarding the order of the verbs. So for example, with verbs with more than one auxiliary, for example, perfect tenses, we're going to use the auxiliary verb number 1 before the subject, and then the auxiliary verb number 2 after the subject. So something like, never have I been introduced to so many people. We have the have before, the been after. So every time we have two auxiliaries in a verb, we're going to just put the subject in the middle. The original sentence here would be, I have never been introduced to so many people. Something very simple. But if I say, never have I been introduced to so many people, I am emphasizing this never idea. Another type is verbs with present or past simple. They usually have only one verb. We're going to do the same with doing questions. We're going to add a do or a did before, if it's present or past, with an adverb before the subject and the verb. So something like, seldom did he consider himself a genius. We could say he seldom considered himself a genius, but saying seldom did he consider himself a genius gives another emphasis. And the last type would be with the verb to be. The verb to be is usually the strange one in our family. So we are going to just add the verb, no auxiliary in this verb. So under no circumstances were they at home. Another emphasis, we just put the verb before the subject. So let's take a look now on the types of adverbs we're going to put before. There are many more, but these are the ones that we use more, and they appear more in exams especially. So you have all types of expressions. For example, the last one, not only, that we know it from not only but also. We have things like little did I know about this. We're going to have this very common thing, seldom, rarely, on no account, a lot of sentences that will be used in inversions. So now let's take some look on some real examples. There was never any reason to doubt the result of the experiment. This is the common sentence. How would we invert it? There are many ways. One of them, never was there any reason to doubt the results of the experiment. Second one, credit cards are not accepted under any circumstances. Very common sentence that we will see in shops. Under no circumstances are credit cards accepted. This is a very common sentence, calling the attention to the under no circumstances, so don't ask for it. The public did not appreciate the significance of this research until much later. Here we have to change a lot of things in the sentence. For example, not until much later did the public appreciate the significance of this research. The next one, the scientist only realized what had happened when he arrived back at the lab. Very common sentence for a story, but then only when he arrived back at the lab did the scientist realize what had happened. Very common, very emphatic sentence. The report included recommendations not only for this company, but also for many other businesses. We can say, not only did the report include recommendations for this company, but also for many other businesses. And the last one, the press only discovered her secret after she died. We can say it, only after she died did the press discover her secret. So these are the inversions, these are the complex sentences. You have these two names depending on the book you're using. And again, only for advanced and for proficiency.